Hello.
Hi, Luisa. I was looking over your class,
Mhm.
and thank you for letting me be your mentor today.
Thank you for accepting it.
And I love the format that you do your class in high school. I know you were doing it in a certain age, which is high school. Your students are growing up, and they're not kids and they're not teenagers. The way that you do your class is very um, formatic and very organized. We can see this in your class structure, which is great. Um, but it's really structured
Mhm.
and it's really organized, while your verbals
Mhm.
in class and the way you structure your student for their norms and the expectation you were looking from them. I think it's very tough.
Okay.
I don't want to be in a class where my teacher used this toughness tone and the roller in class.
Okay. It's a
And
very traditional way of understanding.
yes, it's you're very clear and you're very instructed in your class, um, but it's more of traditional way than being involved and having bonding with the student. Um, I love that you ask your student to give you a list of the punishment you want, like which is I did not really appreciate the word punishment. Sometimes we need to punishment is more tough or more. It's not. It's not a word I would use with my student. That's bring a bonding relationship or something. I feel like my students are involved with me.
Do you
So
feel it's very rough?
I feel it's very structured and it's very yeah. I don't think it's the favorite word for student to hear in case they have any if they made any changes or they did something wrong. Maybe a consequences would be a much better word than
Okay.
punishment.
Okay.
Punishment, it's more like a very I would say aggressive word to students. It's very nice that you let them enjoy it, like be part of this list. It's nice that you make them be involved and ask them to be part of your norms and rules. You are sitting for this class. Um, and another things, I love that you are um, very not only your instruction is very clear, but you are sure that each student or each group that understood and they got your point very clear. So you were going around and make clarification that they got the answers or they understand the concept and everything is clear. They understand the instruction, and I think that was great. Another thing, and maybe I would suggest for you to be more to your student. Lose up a little bit. Love that you are wants to know, get to know your student. Love this way, and it's very suitable for the age, for the age level that you are teaching. Um, another things I was taking note. Oh, there's another things that was good that you were using the visual aid as an instruction as an instruction. Yes, it helps student and you keep asking. The only things I need to work on is building a bonding or a good relationship with the students. So
Okay.
their involvement will be more effective. If you need, what do you have any?
Yes, I would like you to help me with that because sometimes I am a little afraid of having um, problems with the students. High school sometimes are not as respectful as they should because of their ages. So sometimes I'm very like worried, and that's why I structure my class in this way so they cannot.
So you go more to the formal, traditional way of
Yes.
instruction, and by setting your norms and your
Yes,
expectation in class.
but I will need your help for me to change in that?
I would believe if you add more of more into the students, engaging students in your routine and engaging your student with the bonding relationship a little bit, that would help on the way you form, the way also you form your class. Your also, I would say, your verbal, or instead of using the stick, maybe you don't need to use anything.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
No, thank you. Thank you very much for your help. Yeah. Hello, Dalia. How are you?
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Good. For me, it was an honor to be in your class.
Thank you.
And thank you for letting me be your tutor. I really enjoy it. For me, it was very refreshing class. It was very interesting to watch you with students because I know it's a very difficult age. Teenagers can be difficult to manage, but what I saw is that your students were very engaged in what you were doing. They already knew how to behave, they already knew what the task was, and they were in it. They were focused and working. And for me, it was very interesting. Very interesting to watch, especially because of that age. Okay? I love the idea that you let them work in teams. And the way they worked, each worked at their pace. And for me, that was interesting because I saw that you have make them understand how to work in groups at their own time. So for me, it was very interesting. I really, really like it, and I really like that you use the map to explain. Each of them have to do something in the map. For me, it was very interesting. The only thing that I consider that you might think about, it's at the end of the class you were talking about the homework, the assignments that you were going to give them, and you were telling them, and at the same time, almost in the same time, you give them a formative assessment. So I think in that case, although your class is very interesting and I can see that your students are engaged, I think that you might need a little more structure in that sense. Maybe send them home by an email or Schoology or something that would help you to remind them the activity they will have, like their homework and the pages, and to read the notes, because when you say it just verbally, they will forget. So you might need something written.
You were saying that I need to have. My way is fine and interesting, but I need to work on being more I have more instruction in class, more instruct class.
No, I think like that the structure of your class is good because they work and they are learning, and you can see that they are learning. The only thing that you might need a little structure is in the class. In the homework part. Yes, because if you say it just verbally, they might forget, and it's not that like formal. I think you might need a little formality in that sense. Okay? And you have to like take your time, because if you give the assessment, the formative assessment at the same time you're talking about homework, they are more anxious to write down the assessment than to pay attention of what you're saying, because they're teenagers. So I think that maybe if you even give them a written paper with all the things they have to do, they will help. That will help, and they will remind. The other thing is that maybe at the end of the class I saw that you were talking with 2 students, and I thought that maybe there's certain explanations that you might that might be well to do it to the whole class, because sometimes students have doubts and they do not say it. But they find them while they are studying and said, oh, how can I do this? How can I learn about this? But if you do, like, talk about the doubts of your students to the whole group, maybe
that would help more.
Yes.
The students.
Yes. But I really, really enjoy your class. So congratulations, because it was very
Thank you so much. I do believe that I would take your advice and guidance in consideration.
Thank you.
And I think my class, I was focusing on engaging students in class and be interactive with students. And I can see your point of view. Maybe I need to work on the format of class, or the norms of class has to be more structured, I would believe. Or I need to be more clear on my lesson. I really appreciate your help and your advice, and I will consider your advice and guidance.
Yes, maybe the transitions between
Right?
Okay, between like the homework, the assessment, the formative assessment. Like give yourself time to do those things, because the students like take a long time doing their own work.
Okay.
But I really enjoy it. I could see that you have a good climate with your students, that they are engaged and they respect you a lot. So for me, that's important, because if you see that students are enjoying the class, that means that they will learn. Okay? So
thank you. I will take
thank you. It was
good. It was my pleasure to have you.
It was my pleasure to teach you. Thank you. Bye.